All right, breaking news coming in. Official statement on U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Prime Minister Modi's bilateral meeting from the Prime Minister's office. And during the meeting, Secretary Rubio briefed Prime Minister Modi on the sustained progress in bilateral cooperation across a wide range of sectors, including defense, strategic technologies, trade and investment, energy security, connectivity, education and people-to-people ties. He also shared U.S. perspective on various regional and global issues, including the situation in West Asia. Prime Minister Modi, meanwhile, reaffirmed India's consistent support for peace efforts and reiterated the call for peaceful resolution of the conflicts through dialogue and diplomacy. The Prime Minister also requested Secretary Rubio to convey his warm greetings to President Trump and said that he looked forward to their continued exchanges. My colleague Uday Pratap Singh is joining us live at this point in time to give us more perspective related to this. Uday, of course, the Indian government extremely firm and pivoting on two aspects. One, there should be a peaceful resolution to the hostilities in the Middle East. And secondly, when it comes to the energy detriment related to India and its imports, India is always open to doing bilateral business with the United States.
Oh, well, absolutely, Vineet. This, of course, meeting comes at a very crucial time, and the visit as well of the United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio to India. India has always stood for, of course, peace. That has been something that Prime Minister Modi has emphasized on, be it with regards to the Russia-Ukraine conflict or the war in the Middle East. That was, of course, something once again brought up today during this meeting. Also, of course, energy ties. Remember, before departing from for India, Secretary of State of the United States Marco Rubio had spoken about how the U.S. wants to increase its business-to-business ties, particularly oil supply to India. They've already been scaling up oil from the US. They're also looking at, encouraging India to source more oil from Venezuela. Of course, even hinting that the Venezuela interim president may actually be heading to India to talk on this as well. Now, if we talk about today, well, yes, we were just at I was just at a function a short while back at the United States Embassy, where the Secretary of State of the United States and the US ambassador spoke with the media as well. They, of course, addressed the gathering on a special consulate that was unveiled today, opened today in the US Embassy premises, but also took the opportunity to speak on the meeting with PM Modi and also India-US ties overall. Sergio Gore saying that the meeting with PM Modi was very productive. There is great potential for the relationship. Also talking about how US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, on behalf of US President Trump, has actually extended an invite to PM Modi to visit the White House in the near future. Marco Rubio emphasized on trade, military, security and technology ties between the two countries, saying that India is at the cornerstone of the US's relationship with the Indo-Pacific. Also re-emphasizing that President Trump really considers his personal relationship very highly with PM Modi, and saying when personal ties step in, they really take foreign policy ties and foreign ties to a whole new level. So saying that that is something that is being seen in this second term, saying those ties we've seen from the first term itself. Also, of course, there is going to be that very important Quad summit, Quad foreign ministers meeting during this trip of Marco Rubio to India. It's a 4-day visit. He's in, of course, Agra and Jaipur on Monday. He was in Kolkata earlier today. He's in Delhi today, tomorrow, but he returns back to Delhi from Jaipur and Agra on Tuesday for that all-important Quad foreign ministers meeting. Tomorrow sees him in a bilateral meeting with S. Jaishankar. That is going to be happening in the first half of tomorrow. He also said he considers the Quad a very important grouping. He said, on my very first day as Secretary of State, I was sworn in, and that evening itself there was a meeting in the US of the Quad. So he said that was my first day running, which is why the Quad is always very special for me, and he is looking forward to closer ties between the Quad countries being emphasized on Tuesday as well. As we speak, there's a closed-door dinner that is happening at the Roosevelt House at the US Embassy. Very limited individuals, senior government officials and select Indian industrialists have been invited by the US Embassy for that closed-door dinner that is underway as we speak.
Uday, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us. All right, Uday also filed this ground report from the US Embassy on Marco Rubio's engagements. Listen in.
Well, on the first day of his visit to India, in fact, a 4-day visit, United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been part of this special event at the U.S. Embassy where I'm standing along with the U.S. Ambassador of India. Of course, he inaugurated this complex here, a special complex, of course, as part of the embassy. This is a new annex that has been opened today and inaugurated. Interestingly, the plaque also was unveiled in the presence of Marco Rubio and Sergio Gore. In fact, Rubio, on a lighter note, commenting that that's his first plaque and he'll be very happy if his grandkids come back to India and see this. He also, on a lighter note, said that he's keeping his statements on the occasion short because it is quite warm in New Delhi, even at this time of day when the function was scheduled for. Of course, on a more serious note, talking about the India-US relationship, Marco Rubio says it has never been stronger. He said that India is at the cornerstone of the US's relationship with the Indo-Pacific. Also talking about Prime Minister Modi's personal special rapport with President Trump, saying the two have a great relationship ever since President Trump was in the White House for his first term. And that is helping the India partnership go to new heights. He said it's always special when there are personal relations of, influencing foreign policy and ties. And that is what is happening between India and the US currently. Rubio also spoke about security ties, trade ties and military ties as well, saying that our joint exercises are reaping dividends for both our security forces. Also, of course, saying that a new America First visa is being unveiled, which would also be strengthened through consulates like this to forge people-to-people ties and also encourage Indian individuals who want to do greater business with the United States of America. In fact, Marco Rubio also spoke about how he personally considers the Quad relationship special, saying the first thing he did when he became Secretary of State last year was to actually attend a Quad foreign ministers meeting in the United States of America, saying that's what I did on the first day of my job, which is why the Quad is special for me. He's, of course, back in India for another Quad foreign ministers meeting, which will be taking place on the 26th. Sergio Gore, the US ambassador, also spoke extensively on the ties between India and the US, saying that there is huge potential and he is personally working in forging and taking this relationship to greater heights. Visual journalist Dinesh Thakur, Uday Pratap Singh from the US Embassy here in New Delhi for NewsX.
All right, America's immigration